Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I am making my card based on this past, Friday and Saturday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 235. It's also for World Card Making Day, which was this past Saturday. For this challenge, and if you have not heard of Craft Roulette before at all, I will have a link in the video description below. My finger, they're not straight anymore, but it's in the box below here, linking to that episode and kind of telling you what Craft Roulette's about. But for this challenge, we need to make a card that is not an A2 single fold. Check. I'm making a 5x7 card, my favorite card. For the colors, we need to use mood board colors. And what they explained was, kind of like whatever mood you're in. And element, we need to include the world somehow. And random, it has to have a star on it. Okay. I had to think long and deep about that, but I got it. And I'm going to be using this new set that I haven't used yet that I got recently. This is Honeybee Stamps. This is the Palm Beach. This is the cover plate and the matching 6-piece stencil set. Now, the cover plate's not what I would think. When I got this, I thought this kind of like die cut it out. No, this does an impression. Now, I'm going to make a card using a whole bunch of different ink colors that I'll bring over here in just a moment. And I haven't decided what color that's going to be because it's going to depend on how the card comes out color-wise. So I'm either going to make a blue card. This is like a light ocean blue, a white card, or it may end up being, which one this one is, turquoise sea or tranquil teal. It could even be another color. I guess we will all see when I get to the end of stenciling. And I'm not even sure what size card front this needs to be. I know this cover plate is smaller. So I'm thinking it's going to end up kind of like in this corner, or I could even center it. But I know what my sentiment's going to be, so we can start there. I have this stamp set, and I lost the packaging, so I can't remember who it's from. But there's a saying on here, and I've used this before, so I'll have to look it up. Where is that saying that I want to use? Friends make the world beautiful. So that'll get my world thing. And I want to stamp it on here. So I'm going to stamp on a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to get the sentiment over and done with because that's going to be the easiest part. And I had a piece of scrap paper here with ghosts on it. And I must have mislaid that. Let me see if this piece of scrap will work. Yes, it will. So I'm going to die cut this out first so that I can get my sentiment to fit in there nicely. I've got my Anna Griffin Empress machine here. And I'm just going to put that in the middle. And run that through my die cut machine. Now, there, and that's nice thick paper. This was a stitched flag set that I don't know the name of the company from. I think there's 4 flags in this set. You can use anything you want. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is before I stamp, I'm going to do my cover die. And I'm using a 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. This is just how I have my white sheets cut and ready to go. And I'm going to center the cover plate on it. Now, this is an embossing die, but I am using my cutting mat. I did test this out, and if I used my embossing mat, it was too much pressure and you saw the outer lines. So I'm just going to try it with my regular old cutting mat. Doesn't matter where it is on here because I'm going to cut that down eventually. Pardon me, that my telephone is ringing. I'm going to pause. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption. Let's take this up. And this gives you just a very light, and I don't know if you can, yeah, there, if I angle it that way, a very light embossed image. It's more of a debossed image, actually. All right, now I am going to stamp my sentiment. And I'll just put this down in the corner. All right, and I'm going to center that on my little flag. And I'm just going to use my VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And it's obvious I have not used this stamp since it was sticky. So I am going to just rub my finger across it to condition it. And if I move this ink over, then I can get my mat where I want it for you to see. And for those interested, yes, I still have a wall phone, and that's what was ringing. I think one more. Okay, that came out nice. Now, if you can see, this bold is beautiful. The beautiful is bold. Yeah, the bold is beautiful. Isn't that a soap opera? But that is how it is on the stamp. It is meant to be bold so that you can say, beautiful. Friends make the world beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And that's my mood color scheme that I'm going for today. As the hurricane is about to hit Florida, and my family will be affected, so all prayers are with them. Hopefully not too bad. So I was thinking of Florida, and I like to think of it as the beautiful, bright, sunny beach, and that's why this cover plate worked out perfect. Now, all the rest of this is going to entail stenciling, and hopefully won't take a long time here. Now I'm going to put this down on my waffle flower grip mat, and it's a little hard for me to see where the stencil is, so I may need to pick this up. But this is a 6-layered stencil, and it's neat that they're translucent, though it makes it a little easier, at least for me to see instead of white. And they have the words that this is the background. So I do need to pick this up. And this will line up with your debossed image. Just get that on there nicely, just where it should be. And put that down. All right, now I do have a whole bunch of inks over here because I want to do some shading. First thing we're going to do is the blue skies and clouds. So I'm going light to dark. And for the blues, I'm using my Holtz Distress Oxide. And I'm starting with my tumbled glass. And now normally I leave swirls and leave some white showing so it looks like a sky. This, I want to go as solid as I can. So I'm starting out with tumbled glass. And I'm going to do the water with it too. And then I'm going to come back and do some more shading. Since this sky already has clouds included, I don't need to worry about leaving a swirly clouded sky. Now I'm not worried about going off the edge here because this will be cut down. Now this pine tree, I'm thinking of Christmas, palm tree is fairly loose. So I'm going to work from the bottom up while I hold that down. Because if I worked from the top down, it might slip just like that. So I'm going to actually hold that. One nice thing about having the grip mat is I don't have to hold this whole stencil now. I just need to hold the loose areas. And I'm filling this in fairly solid, and I'm using a fairly heavy hand. I'm not flattening the bristles, but I am pushing them enough so they flatten maybe 1/4 of an inch. And And this palm tree is also a little loose. Now I've seen cards done with this stencil and they are amazing. So I'm hoping I can get similar results. All right, now I'm still leaving that stencil on, but I'm coming back in with my broken china using my same brush, and it's a little bit darker. And I'm just going to come, and now for this color, I am going to like hit or miss with it, make it swirled. But down here on the water, I'm going to do this at the top and not put it at the bottom. I'm just going along the top of the water. Now I'm going to, well, I haven't used this color in a while, so I need to see what it looks like. So I'm going to hint this on the side. This is Mermaid Lagoon, and I'm going to go back over the water and come down a little further because I want the watercolor to be different than the sky color. And now I'm going to use just a little brush. I'm using chipped sapphire, and I'm just going to put a little bit at the bottom to make a shadow. And I grabbed my purple brush, but that is okay. It will just add a little bit more depth. And the chipped sapphire is fairly dark, so it's just adding a little shadowing. And I'm not keeping it in a straight line. I'm trying to swirl it in because shadows aren't all in the same spot. All right, let me pick that up and see how this looks. Oh, I'm liking that. I'm going to set this aside to clean when I'm done, because if I try to do it now, I'll make a big mess. Just clean up where I touched it on the mat. Now the next layer, the clouds. And I can easily see where this one goes. Clouds, and it looks like sand down here. So for the clouds, I'm just going to use my blue brush, and I'm going to get a lot of this off there. I just want to go on the bottom of my clouds, not the whole cloud, just introducing a little bit of blue to the cloud. Pardon me while I get a quick drink. And it's not Kool-Aid today. I felt like a regular soda. Now the beach. I have 3 colors I picked out. I'm done with the blues, so I'm going to put those aside for now. Put my blue brushes away so I don't get ink where I don't want it. And get out my tan brush. I'm going to start with Sandy Beach. Just a nice light color. And then I'm going to come in with Kraft and just kind of hit and miss with the colors on here. And I'm going to come in with Warm Cocoa, and I want to use a small brush again. Let's see if I do have a brown brush. This is a tinier one. And I'm just going to bring it along. Down here, there's going to be some rocks, so I'm just following along the rocks. And I'll come up a little bit and just hit and miss brush this in. And then I'm going to come back with whatever's left on my brush and blend it in. So hopefully it looks like a textured sand beach. Boy, this product list for this one's going to be good. All right. Oh, that's looking nice. Okay. And I'll set that aside. Now our next layer, the palm trees. Okay. Just the foliage. Now to get that lined up is a little bit more awkward than I thought. Let's see. There, that one lines up. And now this is different because when you line up one and get it just spot on, then the next one is off. So this is a little bit more awkward. So what I'm going to do, this is interesting. That doesn't line up. Maybe it's not supposed to line up perfectly, but I think it is. All right, I'm going to do one tree at a time. I can get this one lined up. Get rid of my brown brush, and I'm going to clean this blue off. Okay, now for greens. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of different greens here. I don't think I'm going to use them all. But I want to start with, I think, Lucky Clover. I'm going to get my green brush, and I'm just going to use my scrap piece here and get off whatever's on here. I'll start with Lucky Clover. And then I'm going to get this tree lined up. And see, it doesn't totally line up exactly. All right. Maybe it's not supposed to, but I'm wanting it to. All right, and then I want to line up this one down here. And then there's supposed to be a little piece here. Okay. All right, now I'm going to come in now with, I think, Jelly Bean Green. And since this one's lined up, I'm just going to go at the bottom of this one to kind of give it a shadow with the jelly bean. Now line these back up. This is weird, at least this stencil for me. I guess I just didn't watch the videos close enough to see how they did. And I just want to do the kind of the edges of this tree. Not really the middle, just the edges. Line this one back up. Okay, now I want to, do I want to do the grass green? I think I want to go with a little bit of fresh asparagus. I don't want to make it too dark. And I'm just kind of going to go over the whole thing lightly, but hitting and missing. Just adding some more shadows. Okay, and just a little bit down here, not a lot. Okay, what's next? This is Right Hillside. Okay, get that lined up. Now, I do want to take, I'm going to use green. I'm going to go grass green here. And keep it light. I'm not pressing a lot at all. And I'm going to add in just a smidge of the jelly bean. Kind of along the top in this one, I think. And it has a little bit of that opened. That didn't get any That didn't even line up with those leaves, so I'm just going to come back in and cover them up somehow. There we go. All right, that was the right hillside. Shrubs. Now this is where I want to use my darker green. So I'm going to use the grass green and go with a heavy hand. But I'm doing it in a swirling motion, so it's not all getting covered. And then I'm going to go back with the lighter Lucky Clover just to add some highlights instead of shadows. Okay. Oh, one of these is supposed to have, maybe I missed them on the first one. Yeah, I got to go back. The clouds also had birds, and I forgot to add the birds. So for that, I'm going to use a very tiny, the smallest brush I have, which isn't very small. It's brown, but I'm going to use, I think, Moonlit Fog. Okay, so now I have the birds added to the sky. That's coming together nicely. All right, so what one is next? The palm trees and the rocks. Trying to get that lined up so that I must admit I am having an awkward time with this stencil, getting everything to line up. I needed to do my trick with the washi tape, but I did not. So I'm going to take my brown brush, whatever was left on it. I'm going to go and do a light coating on the palm tree trunks. And then, pardon me, I'm going to add a little bit of warm cocoa, just in areas to make it a little bit darker. Now for the rocks, let's get rid of these. I'm going to come in with soft stone and put a light color. And this, I definitely need to re-ink my soft stone. And I'm going to add a little bit of Moonlit Fog, if I can, with a light hand. Now I am going to use a color I don't use very often. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to use black soot. This may be a major mistake. I'm just going to add a little bit of shadowing on top of the rocks. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oh, that is looking beautiful. All right, I'm liking this. Okay, that was the last of the stencil, but I'm going to come in. I still got some black soot on here. I'm going to come along the tree branches and just along the grass. I'm just going to use up what's on my brush to add a little highlight. And now, I am going to use an alcohol ink marker. And I pulled some out. Aha, here they are. As I saw one lady's video where she added some shadows to the tree, but I don't know which color is going to look the best. So let me see. I don't want to use the big point. That's my Matcha. That's a little, this is too matchy-matchy. And this is dark olive. Okay, I think I'm going to go with the dark olive, and here goes nothing. She just added shadows along the leaves. And this may be the end all of this project, but I'm thinking it's looking okay. The lady I saw do this, I can't remember her name, but she is on the Honeybee Stamps main website and does videos for them. Of course, she went like multi layers and colors, and I would not feel quite comfortable doing that, but I thought I could do this. That actually doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that does give it more dimension. All right. I'm going to outline first, and then I'll come back and put in the layers. One nice thing about the image being debossed is you can easily see and follow the lines that are already debossed. That one looks a little different. Okay, that actually looks. I am surprised. Pardon me. I think I'm going to try the matcha along the hillside. A little mixed media here today. And I'll come down a little bit. I'm getting more bold and brash with coloring, I guess, today, since that didn't come out so badly. Seem to miss a little color down here. And since this is pretty much the same color, I'm going to color it in. Getting that stencil to line up was a little disconcerting, but I think I got it. I'm going to come along here. Just to give it a little bit more definition. Okay. Well, that came out beautiful. I'm quite pleased with that. All right, so now I need to cut this down. Let me move all my greens and ink back over to this side. Clean off my mat. And there go the stencils onto the floor. And we have a challenge where I can use what's on my floor. All right. Just that piece. Okay. Get out my cutter. And cut that down to there. This is meant for an A2 size card. Let's see. So this, if I cut it there, that'll give me 4 1/8. All right, that I am amazed. That is nice. Okay, now to see what this is going to look nice on. I'm just going to clean my fingers here a little bit with some alcohol, or yeah, alcohol, a baby wipe. I was thinking of taking the stencils upstairs and cleaning them off with alcohol, but I'll do that when I'm done. All right, now to determine what card base. Oh, I found my ghosties. I was kind of thinking of maybe putting gold behind this, just a little bit. But would this look good on the blue card? No. Would this look good on a white card? Yes. How about that's, what if I took this? Or this? I'm thinking turquoise sea. I'm going to let this video run. I'm just running over to my guillotine machine to cut this. Be right back. Okay, I cut that to 10 by 7. Get my little scoreboard here. I'm going to score it at the 5-inch mark. And I usually do a couple of scores. And I fold it over, crease it to my bone folder. Now, I'm wondering if I make this a chocolate brown behind this. But let me cut the brown to match. So if I make that, let's see, let's make it 5 and to give it that big of a border. So this is going to be 5 5/8. And I want the end to have about the same amount. So 4 3/8. Oh, now I'm not so sure. Let's make this chocolate brown background. Why not? I'm giving it a go. I'm going to use my chestnut brown. Just want to see how that looks behind it. I think that looks better. I got brown on my white card. I'm thinking it's going to be best on the white card. This is where being live would be helpful. I like it on here though, but maybe it needs white behind it. Let's just see. Like a 3-layered. Oh, that would be better. Okay. But I want to trim this down a little bit too. I think. Yes. So I'm going to go down. Let's glue these two together right now. I do like the chocolate brown behind it. It just needs 3 layers. And I'm thinking like that. I don't want it that much smaller. So I'm going to go down to 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. Yes, that is so much better. Okay. So you never know. Just play. If you don't like something, think on it for a minute. What can I do different? How can I improve this? And now this is going to go down flat. And now since I went with the blue card or the turquoise C, I need to put a piece of white on the inside. Don't have to, but I do have to get this straight. I just prefer to have a white inner aspect of the card for writing your message on. You notice it needs a little bit more detail here. I'm going to get my white gel pen. Well, now is when I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to add some water. Just a little bit of water, but it does need some bling. Now, for this card challenge, I needed to add some stars. So I have these little tiny gold stars here that I think I'll put on the sentiment strip, which I just saw that a moment ago. There it is. If I'm going to pop this up, I'll put a couple stars here. So I'm going to use my 1/8 inch foam strips, and I'm going to leave 2 of them together. And my scissors. Okay. Could have used my wider foam tape, but these were right here, and they're a lot cheaper. I should say less expensive. Friends make the world beautiful, and I want my flags to hang off. I think right there is going to be a good placement. And I'm going to add 2 little stars. I'll put 1 here. Well, come on, glue. You know what to do. There we go. And I don't know where my pickup stick is, so it must have fallen out of its holder. I will just use my tweezers. Perhaps. Perhaps not. They're made out of the same material that sequins are. I think it's like shaker filler. All right, now get my Wink of Stella in clear, and I am going to highlight the water. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Stickles in the color Unicorn, and I'm going to put on the palm trees. I'll start with 1. We'll start with a little one. Yes, okay. It kind of has a golden sheen, so that it's going to make it look like the sun shining down on this beautiful beach that I hope will still be there after the hurricane is over. If you haven't discovered stickles yet, oh my goodness, I've tried to make my own, but I have not been successful so far. I just get big clumps of glue that don't work. Okay, now, you know what? I'm going to add a little bit of the blue stickles to the water instead of the, just going to wipe off my brush. I use the same brush. I don't wash it. Twinkle in Stickles has a blue sheen to it. And we're going to make that water just shine. You'll still see my white gel pen through it once this dries. Just gives it a nice, beautiful, shiny sheen. Okay. See that water sparkle? And the trees. And there goes my cell phone. Sorry, everybody. I seem to be a popular person today. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, first I need to make sure that I've met all the parameters. My project, anything but an A2 single fold card. Yep, I have a 5x7 card. Colors, mood board. I'm thinking of a beautiful day on the beach before the hurricane. Element, world, friends make the world beautiful. Random, star. We've got 2 stars on there. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. And please stay safe if you're in the hurricane path. Thanks for watching.